Hiya, kiddos. Thanks for coming to Grandpa Ken's. See the hat I got on you? It's my magic hat. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with Edwin and his adventure. Are you ready? Are you all in your castle modes and that kind of fun? Here we go. Through a small-sized hole in the castle wall, a mouse named Edwin would come to call. He loved to watch the activities of all. In the evenings, folks gathered. Edwin sat at the edge of the castle square. That's when he especially loved to be there. A juggler would juggle almost anything, bowls and goblets and a golden ring. Can you imagine, kiddos, a golden ring? The juggler was the favorite of the king. After the people had their fill of wonder, joy, and laughter, ha, 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 the wizard would come and tell stories of happily ever after. The castle was not fancy, surrounded in gold and sparkling gems. It was a simple castle made of stone, brick, and wooden stems. Well, see, it was a simple one, yeah. When Edwin awoke from a good night's sleep, he heard Elba, the water girl, crying in the street. He quickly went to the castle square, for all the news would be told there. The town crier then told Elba's story. It seems a dragon took over Lake Glory. A dragon, kiddos, took over Lake Glory. Elba went on to tell what a horrible dragon can do. The king came to hear her story too. Betcha he was interested, huh? The dragon had warned Elba, "This is my place. Anyone who wanted water could not come back to this space." See? Everybody's gathered and the town crier is telling them all about it. At once the king ordered his bravest knight to take on the dragon for a victorious fight. The knight walked to the lake with a confident stride. His most powerful sword was hung by his side. He bravely fought and thought he'd won, when all of a sudden the dragon spit flames as hot as the sun. That's pretty hot, kiddos. His sword was left in a melted mess, kiddos. He melted it. He turned and ran. There would be no quest here. As he ran back to the castle square, he trembled to tell what had happened out there. Everyone gathered about to hear his talk of fear and doubt. See, look at him. He's scared, yeah. Would you be scared? I would. But you gotta overcome your fears, kiddos. That's what this is all about. The king hung his head low as he sat on his throne. How could he make the dragon go home? The king called for the wizard, for wouldn't he know how to make the dragon go? Sure, us wizards know everything, right, kiddos? But Edwin said he saw the wizard leave early on a wagon. Uh-oh. What was the king gonna do, kiddos? Now, how on earth would they move that dragon? Edwin quietly ran up the king's great chair. He squealed, "Don't worry, I will always be there." Forgive me if I laugh, Edwin, said the king. You're just a tiny mouse. Can you do anything? I may be small, Edwin bravely declared, but I've as many ideas as anyone dares. See, the king is saying, "Wow, really? Really? You're a little guy. Can little guys do anything?" Well, let's find out, kiddos. As Edwin walked through the castle square, he heard people talk as fear filled the air. He kept walking till he reached a thick part of the woods. Perhaps I'll move the dragon, he thought. Just maybe I could. Edwin found the wizard's door open wide. He looked around to slip inside. He bumped into a pile of shells, and next to the was the wizard's book of spells. Edwin looked and soon found a spell on how to get dragons to leave very well. He stood amazed. It would be easier than he'd realized. It took Edwin a great part of the day just to reach the lake where the dragon did stay. Now he had the dragon fully in his view. He looked in the eye and knew what to do. Boy, I would have been really scared. See, look at seeing how he's getting a spell from the wizard's spell book. Yeah, that would be interesting. The dragon saw Edwin, but he paid him no mind. He saw only a mouse of the littlest kind. But before he had time to spit out a flame, Edwin stood and shouted his name. Dragon, you come from a faraway place. You have a big, colorful, ugly face. Your breath of flames, your hawk like wings. These are some frightening things, but I break all that gives you strength and might. Off with you now. Get out of my sight. As brightness appeared, Edwin closed his eyes. His body was shaking, but that's no surprise. When he opened his eyes and looked around, the dragon was gone. Only rippling water made a sound. Edwin went over to the spot where the dragon had been flamed, and all that was left, a giant dragon's tooth. Ooh, see the dragon, kiddos? And all that was left was a tooth. Well, let me tell you, Edwin ran all the way back to the king's chair. He said, come to the lake and see what's no longer there. The king's court, they all laughed. To them, it was clear a small mouse cannot give a great dragon fear. I used a spell from the wizard's book. Now every one of you come and take a look. The king, being a fair and noble man, said, let's go give Edwin a helping hand. So quietly and carefully, they came near the lake. They were sneaking up, kiddos. None of them wanted to make a mistake and get cooked. Elba, the water girl, said, can you hear? And everybody listened. It's silent. No dragon's breath, nothing to fear. Think about it, kiddos. He overcame his fear. He didn't let it control him. He controlled it. See? And the dragon disappeared because of the spell. No dragon's breath did they hear or smell. The trees were not burning. They looked green and well. Edwin whispered in the king's right ear, all that's left is his tooth. You have no need to fear. They gave the king great peace of mind. Everyone began to jump in the lake. Now's the time to celebrate. That evening, the evening turned into a big, grandest feast in honor of Edwin for removing the beast. The king told Edwin, you're a hero, well done, even though you're just a little one. See, kiddos, that's the end. Even the king realized that you don't have to be the biggest. The smartest normally wins, right? But most of all, you've got to feel committed and feel good about yourself and your own self-confidence, no matter what your size. Follow the truth, and be honorable like the king, and be brave like Edwin. And come on back again, kiddos. We're going to have some more fun and more magic. Who knows, right? And ready? Poof, when we're gone.